For nearly 10 years, partners and friends have invested into the global church through Training Leaders International. For every 10 pastors in the world, 9 have no formal theological training. We exist for the 9. This past year, we sent 60 teams to 21 locations to train roughly 1,000 leaders. People often ask me what our students are like when they first come to take courses in our non-formal training. They're zealous, they love the Lord, they're really good at evangelism, but they struggle to preach. And sometimes the way that they understand Scripture is actually quite harmful to their church. Just to give you one example, we had a class in a place where we went for the first time, and the teacher from TLI asked the students to put together a message from Mark 14. The story of a woman washing Jesus' feet. And so the students put a message together, and one of the students, a bishop, respected by the students and the community, stood up to give his explanation of the text and how he would preach it. His answer was actually quite troubling. His explanation of the text was, Jesus is a spiritual leader, and this woman has done an honorable thing in serving him. Likewise, we as pastors should be served by the people in our church in the same way, especially from women. Now here's a dear brother who loves God, wants to understand the Bible, and has applied it in a way that's destructive. In locations where we're doing non-formal training, where we go 3 times a year for 3 to 4 years, we're seeing multiplication and reproduction, real fruit. In Liberia, we're training 50 pastors at a location that used to be the site of an animistic cult. Now these 50 pastors are being trained, and we're working with a leader to start a formal school that will offer a Master's of Divinity degree. I'm speaking from Brazil, where we just witnessed the second graduation of our first school plant. These men have graduated with Master's of Divinity degrees and are now going to be pastoring in the Portuguese-speaking world. We're starting migrant training, where we have migrant leaders in the West, first-generation pastors who don't have access to the training around them, and we're providing training to them. There are pastors in the Middle East. These pastors go from village to village at night because of for safety reasons, and they reproduce our curriculum to their congregations. And lastly, probably the most exciting thing that is happening is that because we've been doing training for a while now, we have graduates, and some of the graduates are now going on trips with us to other sites to do training alongside our teachers. So not only have we trained people to help their congregation, but we have trained trainers who are training other leaders. Really exciting times at TLI. All of these pastors represent investment of time and resources, the investment to produce curriculum for oral learners, the investment to prepare trips, the investment of money to build seminary libraries and to translate curriculum and to produce a theological journal in 6 languages. And something as simple as desks. Just a few years ago, we moved into an office with 6 desks, and I wondered, how are we going to fill out this space? And today, we have to move. And we have to move because there's no more space for any desks. As we look to the coming year, we're going to have 30 sites. We're going to be training more leaders. We're looking at 6 school plants. And every year we come to the end of the year and ask our partners and those who love us to invest into the global church. The majority of our donations every year come in the last 3 weeks of the year. And so we're asking you to consider giving to a need of $250,000 to invest into leaders, to invest into pastors, to invest into trips, to invest into the translation of material, to invest into a thing as simple as desks. Thank you for investing into pastors and leaders around the world as we send teachers, train leaders, and strengthen the church.